Lima?
Yo,
Lima Manu.
Lima Manu.
No middle name?
Oh, so full name, Taufao Whangalima Makuati Manu.
Of course.
Have
That's
a go.
what I thought.
Have a go.
Have a go, bro. Have a go.
Yeah, nah.
I wouldn't even have a go.
So good.
So you're one of how many siblings?
So I got two brothers. Well, I had three brothers. One was a stillborn, and then I got two sisters.
Okay,
So six.
6 of you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, plus, sorry, my parents adopted my first cousin as well. So we got another brother.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna get complicated real quick. Real quick. Great having you here, Lima.
Thank you.
On Testify.
Thank you.
So, can we get complicated really quick
Yeah.
with your family
Yeah.
makeup?
Let's-
Go for it.
Oh,
Yeah,
what do you mean?
like how your stepsisters and brothers and adopted sister and
Oh man, so the adoption of my first cousin on my dad's side, that happened like late. I was at high school when that happened.
right.
And it was mainly for him to come over to New Zealand
Okay.
and start working and make a life for himself. We don't see each other much, but we're pretty close. They live in Christchurch, we live in Dunedin,
Okay.
and but other than that, everything's still normal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Was it official adoption or just
Yep.
a whāngai adoption type?
I'm pretty sure it was official.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know the ins and outs. All I just knew that it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite common in
Yeah.
Samoan
So-
families
Yeah. For someone to sponsor a family member to come over. Yeah.
to New Zealand to get a better life.
That's it. Then they end up just working and be like, man, I don't know if it's any better.
Yes. So and it's unusual for a Samoan to be brought up in Dunedin.
Yeah, man.
Tell us about that.
Well, every islander or every Samoan that I speak to that's not from Dunedin, when I tell them that I'm born and raised there, they're like, bro, are there any Samoans down there? It's like, this is all I know, man. I was born here, but the thing is, with all the Samoans at that time, when I was young, like, we all knew each other.
Right.
Close-knit community. Well, with all the Pacific Islanders in Dunedin, we're all pretty close. And then you go elsewhere to Auckland and Wellington and places like that, and you're just like, man, we're pretty blessed down in Dunners. We've got a good community, man.
So Dunedin in New Zealand is like at the very bottom.
I've heard of it. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like not quite as far as Invercargill, but
Yeah,
the next one up, really,
Of the South Island.
Yeah.
South Island, the mainland.
It's a university town.
Yeah.
It's sort of
Yeah,
what it's known for.
yeah, Scarfy City.
A university town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so like during the uni period, like it's busy, like it's full. But then during holidays and the end of semester, it's kind of like a ghost town. It goes back to just the locals. It's not as busy. Town's not as busy. But yeah, like the students bring a lot of life, a lot of revenue into the city.
So you were born there.
Yeah, Queen
Wow.
Mary Hospital,
Wow.
man.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how long had your parents been over in Dunedin before you were born?
Shucks. I'm not too sure, actually. Probably 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that
I could be wrong.
Yeah,
but,
that's
but,
right.
but pretty long time, though, because my brothers everyone was born there.
wow.
So my law, who is my oldest brother, he's 10 years older than me, and he was born in Dunedin,
Oh,
too.
wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. So there's your older brother.
So it goes my oldest sister, Teresa, and then it goes my law, then it goes Lipoi, it goes Eli, and then there's me. But just before me was Wailesi, stillborn, and then my adopted brother too. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's all born in except your adopted one, all born in Dunedin.
Born in Dunedin.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, actually, sorry, my eldest sister was born in Auckland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Auckland's north, eh?
Yeah.
Island.
Yeah. Auckland's like the biggest city in New Zealand.
Yeah, I got
3 million. Dunedin's maybe got
Shucks, they
200
asked me.
200,000 maybe.
I wouldn't even know, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it's pretty small. Yeah, I've been there a bit. It's a beautiful town.
As it's not.
It's like a
Right.
town.
It's, yeah, mate. It's the place to be.
Uh,
Yeah, man. I love Dunedin.
is
man.
it safe?
Oh, bro.
So safe.
Yeah,
So
so it's
safe.
like a smart move from
Yeah.
your parents.
Yeah.
Uni town, safe. Bring the kids
But
up
I
there.
think they went, like, my dad went there to work because his uncle, my mum, or my dad's mother's brother, already was there. And I think he had jobs lined up, ready to go. So skipped the North Island, went straight down south. And,
Nice.
yeah, that's where he met my mum too. Met my mum down south.
Hey.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
So, Manu is your surname,
yeah. Manu.
your family name.
Yeah.
What island in Samoa are they mainly from?
Upolu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you
So-
got it. Are they strong? Is it strong? Your parents strong traditional Samoans?
Yeah, my dad especially. My
Yeah.
mum's not Samoa. My mum's full Tokelauan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
What's
Pretty-
that?
Tokelau is a little island that's in the Pacific too. They you have to catch a boat to go there. So you fly to Samoa and then you go on the boat and you make your way over. It's not big.
And it's not classified as Samoan.
It's under New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tokelau.
Tokelau.
Yeah, I'm not going to try and say it.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to do. Eh? It's not happening. I'm just, yes.
Yeah, cool, bro.
Yes.
Cool with that.
Sounds nice.
So, is it quite a big family, the Manu family in Samoa?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty big. We're pretty spread out too.
Yeah.
Got a lot in Christchurch, Dunedin, Auckland, and yeah, some in Australia. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Same with my Tokelauan side. We're quite spread out. So
Wow.
yeah, but a lot of them live in either Sydney or in Porirua.
Oh, yo.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Well,
Like
the
a lot
land
of
comes
church-
up again.
bro, it's so small,
Yeah,
eh?
bro. I remember listening to all the other podcasts and you trying to give it a go, bro. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's pretty
Thanks, bro.
good.
It's not going to happen today.
Oh.
It's not going to happen.
So, probably like Samoan, Tokelau, quite religious, eh? They would be.
Yeah.
Traditional?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were brought up.
Yeah, brought up Presbyterian,
Okay.
PIC.
Yeah. PIC, Pacific Island Church.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah. PIPC, Pacific Island Presbyterian Church, but make a smaller name smaller. PIC. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Okay. So that was you.
Yeah.
Every Sunday.
every Sunday.
But that's
Man,
that's real
Yeah.
strict, eh? That's
yeah. It's like not as strict as back in Samoa, but still, like that kind of mindset towards church. We had choir practice every Wednesday as well, so we'd be there. But then when White Sunday came around, it was even more time at church and even more time practicing your lines for the plays and songs and all that kind of stuff. So
Do your family proud, Lima.
that's it, bro. Which is something that I struggled with every year, especially when it came to family items, bro. Oh, family items were daunting for me, man. So family items and White Sunday, you got the whole thing where you do youth Sunday school, and then at the end they separate the families and you come up to do your family item. So every family comes up with an item. But man, it was every time it came around to us, we did a song every time, but I was just not a good singer, eh? And I just had a real bad confidence issues, and yeah, I would always be the one who would let the family down. My brothers, man, I would always either sing flat or come in too late, or something would always go wrong, man. I was like, oh, come on, man, just 1 year to sing nice,
Right.
sing nice for 1
Right.
year,
But how long were these services?
bro. What, White Sunday or just normal
like
service?
that one where the items and then the individual families
Bro,
come.
probably like 2 hours, maybe.
Oh, that's all right.
Maybe, yeah. Some go for ages, man.
I was going to say, because that sounds like it could be a 4 or 5 hour service.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't have a massive church. We had a pretty good number in the beginning,
and then it just kind of fell away as the years went on. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, and the as young grew up, they sort of drifted away from the church.
Yeah, not only that, like families started to leave. Like
Okay.
things went on in the church, like politics or this, and then kind of families like, okay, make
Go
their own
somewhere
way.
else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so how were you not the best singer?
Man, I always knew I wanted to sing. Always knew that I wanted to be like Michael Jackson since I was like, since I was able to, ever since I was able to walk, man. Like, I always loved Michael Jackson. I always loved Jackson 5. I always would, just imitate him hard out and try to sing his songs. But it wasn't like, I was actually really bad, bro. Like, really, really bad. And
What,
then,
singer?
yeah. Like, it didn't click for me till later. So, like, I had a dictaphone. It was my sister's. And then, I got the dictaphone. And then I started, like, kind of doing what we're doing now, like interviewing, like, my cousins that would come stay over, like, just do stupid stuff. And then I started singing into it. And I listened to it, and I was like, whoa, is that what I sound like? Like, I just couldn't hear it. And I was just like, man, like, this is so bad, man. And then just keep singing into that dictaphone and just keep on listening to myself and just train myself to be better.
No way.
Yeah, like that was my singing teacher, was this dictaphone, man.
And listening to yourself.
Yeah, and listening to myself, because I couldn't hear it when I was just singing.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, because everyone sounds good.
Yeah, yeah. I was just like, man, you know. But my brothers were great singers. Like Manu and Lay, they were so good. That's why it was even more of a big deal when it came to my part. You know, like in the family item, they'd like open the song, second verse, third verse, and then the last verse, and they'd be like, oh. Oh, man. And then you get those sympathy claps like, come on, Lima. Like, congregation, like, oh,
You can do
yeah,
it.
you can do it. I'm like, oh, man, just get the song over with, man. I want to sit down.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd love to see some recordings.
Bro,
of
no,
those.
man, no.
It's so good, bro. Oh, man.
It's not good, bro.
So
It's
why did they make you keep singing? Why didn't you just do the verse?
I don't even know, man. I don't even know.
That's
Just
like,
so I was involved.
it's like torture.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, man. But
So if you were on The Voice or anything, they would laugh at you and say, "Oh, bro,
everybody like that knew me in that season would be like far out. Like even people that know me, like, because right now, like, I've been a full-time musician for years, you know, and then for them to like see me now, be like, man, that guy. I remember that guy when he was like really bad.
wow."
Yeah, like a lot of
I
people.
know, I know a guy like that, George Ilasara,
Yeah,
Samoan guy.
yeah,
He was tone deaf,
yeah,
but he loved worship.
yeah,
And he would just pray, God, let me sing.
yeah.
I want to sing for you. I want to sing for you. And God answered his prayer. And he was a worship leader at the church. I was an amazing voice. Yeah, God
Wow.
totally heard his heart's cry. There's a real desire in his heart. It's
That's
amazing.
so cool, man.
Yeah. So you pursued it though.
Yeah, I went hard for it, like, because I always wanted it. Yeah.
You want to sing.
Yeah, I go to primary school. I remember one of my teachers had a guitar, and I just be like, "Can I play with it?" And then like my brother would teach me. My brother Eli, who played guitar for us, taught me like a few chords, and then I just started going from there. Just keep playing, keep playing, keep playing, keep
But
singing.
Lima, you should play rugby.
Yeah, oh man, I play rugby too, bro. Yeah, bro, I play rugby all the way through as well, man. I was like,
Don't play guitar, play rugby.
last longer, man. Are you sure? Are you sure, man?
Wow, that's
Yeah.
incredible. So, like, everyone who know you, like, oh, nah, don't bother.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I never really got any push until the improvements started coming.
Right.
Until, oh, wow, you know, like getting better or getting good.
And that was just your own desire.
That was my own, yeah.
You just loved singing and music.
Yeah, I just loved seeing the stage. I love, like,
Wow.
people being able to create and make me, because, like, the way when I saw Michael Jackson sing or dance, like, The American Dream, the Jackson 5 movie, like, that's been my favorite movie since I was, like, man, I can't remember, like 2, 3. We used to watch that all the time, me and my brothers. And, yeah, just the way I would feel inside when I'd see Michael, like, dance or sing, like, I'd just be like, man, he can make me feel that kind of way just by using his voice or just his charisma when he dances and all this stuff. Like I always just wanted to be a singer and a dancer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I just all the way through school I just kept going, just kept looking for opportunities.
that's
That's
really cool.
crazy. Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it
it is
always,
cool.
because it always bothered me though. Because I'd be like, these guys, like I'd have guys in my school that were just amazing, and I'd just be like, how, like, it's not fair, man. Like this guy's good without even trying, you know. And like even my best friend, who I learnt music with in primary school and intermediate, like we're best friends through high school and uni even till now. Like he was just naturally good. He was just naturally like a freak of nature. He could play everything. He could sing. I was like, man, I have to work like 10 times as hard just to get to where you are, you know. Like, so that at the same time, like I'm grateful for that because it created like work ethic in me.
Yeah, for sure.
To be like, I have to work for these things. Like, like if I want to step up, I know what it takes. It's not just like on pure talent. Like I've actually got to put the work in to get to where I want to get to. And I learned that early.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you're pursuing this.
Yeah.
You're doing your White Sunday stuff.
Yeah.
Where's God in this? Is it just religion at the moment?
Yeah, it's just religion. Like, it's just religion, but at the same time, like I knew he's there.
Right.
Like I knew like,
God was real.
Was real, yeah. Like, but it was like, I'm here, God's up there, and like we pray to him, and like he makes all the moves, you know. Like we pray that he protects us. Like I was always taught, you know, pray that he protects us, pray for him to help us. But it was like there was no connection.
Okay.
Like the connection was the thing throughout my whole life that was missing,
Right.
until I got saved. But I knew he was there. I knew he was real.
Yeah.
You know, the teachings that we learned, even though it was, you know, religious in some sense, there was something in my heart that knew he was real. Like, because every time I would pray at night, because me and my brothers in our room, because we shared a room, we'd always pray at night together, sit up in our beds and pray before we go to sleep, you know. And it was just, so cool, man. Like, and I'll never forget those times. And my mum's mum, she was like a prayer warrior, man. She'd be up early in the morning singing and praying at her bed. Like, all my first cousins know that my mama was like a massive prayer warrior.
Wow.
She'd always be. And it wasn't until I got saved till all these stories started coming out from my aunties and uncles saying, man, your grandma was like spirit filled. And then I'll be like, man, like, how did I not get this, you know? Like, but she lived in Sydney and I was living in Dunedin with my family. So hearing all these stories, man, I was just like, there's one thing of being heavily in church and religious, but to hear the word like spirit filled, I was just like, wow.
What's that?
Yeah. You know, so I was just like, and now that I know, I'm just like, wow. Like, he's been moving in my family, you know? And like now I get to catch it. So
what age were you when you got saved, when you actually surrendered your life to Jesus, do you think?
3 years ago, definitely.
3 years?
Yeah. Like it was a massive event for me.
3 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've heard the story.
Yeah.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah.
So you're just basically living your life.
Living my life. So I moved here 2015. Got a real good gig in Brisbane. Sorry. Playing 3 nights a week, making really good money, and then met Jade. Fast forward, we had our family, all that, and then it got to 2019. We'd been getting all our money together. We finally bought our block of land, built our house, and then just a few weeks, or I think a month.
Just one sec.
Yep.
Where's God? Is God still just at that same
God's
place
still
as when
at
you
that
were the
same
kids?
space.
He's real.
Yeah, he's
but
real.
He's not walking with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, so he's there. Like, I'll pray to him every now and then. I'll pray to him every time that I eat, because it's like just built in me, you know, like always.
Say grace.
Say grace, all that stuff. There was a time period, and it wasn't just this short time that it was going on. It was over time. I started to break down Jade. through my own actions. And it just got to a point where, just because I was bound by so many things, like I used to smoke all the time. I used to like drink.
Smoker.
Yeah.
And you're a singer.
Yeah. But other than that, like I used to smoke weed all the time too. And like,
Wow.
yeah, like it was just, it started like ages ago, but like it never really took over my life until a certain point where it was like, without it, like kind of felt a little bit empty.
Wow.
But that, and then having the addiction to pornography as well. I didn't even know it was an addiction because, everybody talks about it.
Yeah,
All the boys laugh about it. All the boys make jokes about it. So all of these things were festering in me. And then it just got to the point where, I would put all my happiness on Jade, where I'd be like, if I'm not getting anything from her that I want, then I don't feel fulfilled. Like, then, if I'm having a bad day, everybody in my household's going to feel it. My kids are going to feel that I'm not with them. My kids, like Jade, will feel that, I'm not showing her love because of my own needs not being fulfilled.
So that's high expectation for Jade.
Bro. Yeah, big time.
Massive.
Like,
and God's,
yeah.
she's going to tell her story, but
Yeah.
God's really important to her.
Yeah.
Right? So you're God's, God's real,
Yeah.
but you're just living this life.
Yeah. Because, like, even before we got there, like, when I first got with Jade, because Jade was going to another church too. And then she was like, let's go to church. And then it's funny, like, the first time we ever went to church together, I was, like, frantic, man. Like, I was ironing my clothes. I was going hard, like, I was ironing my shirt. Like, all the stuff I'm used to. And Jade's, like, in jeans and, like, chucks and T-shirt or whatever she was. But it was real casual. And I was like, are you going to go to church like that? She's like, yeah, why not? And I was just like, nah, man, like, you can't wear that to church. Like, and then I was just like, yeah, getting ready hard out, pulled up to the church, and everybody's just like dressed in whatever, There were some who were wearing shirts and stuff, but there were some who were just like shorts and singlet. And I'm just like, what is going on here, man? Like, it was just blew
Foreign.
just blew my mind.
Wow.
Yeah. And then walked in there, saw the lights and stuff. I was just like, nah, like, this is a show, man. Like, this is, like, where is God in this? Like, it's supposed to be holy. It's supposed to be, and it was like all the stuff that I was used to. So it kind of took me back a bit. And when we left, I was like, nah, like, I don't like that. Like, it's not for me. So fast forward, like, this is me and God still kind of that bow down, don't look kind of thing. Just pray that He will still love me and all this kind of stuff. So it got to the point in our marriage where things weren't working for Jade. She was just all this pressure that I'd put on her, like no human can ever fulfill your happiness, but I thought that it was meant to come from my wife.
Yeah.
I was meant to think that she was the one to satisfy every need in my heart,
Wow.
and when it wasn't happening, I was be like, well, what's the whole point, like started just, kind of wasting my life away, like doing my gigs, thinking that my gigs were enough. Like, I was bringing good money into the house. I was this and that, but the connection was slowly drifting. And then it just got to a real bad point where Jade was like, you need to leave. Like, I'm not saying we're going to get a divorce, but I'm just saying I can't do this anymore. Like, you need to leave and you need to figure this out. You need to figure out what it is that'll make you happy, because I can't do it. Like,
Wow.
yeah, and like that day, I remember specifically, I just felt my whole world crashing, man. And I just remember being like, well, like, I thought it was just one of those conversations and then it'll kind of blow over, but it was like, nah, like, she was serious. She'd prayed to God, and she was, she said that it took a lot of faith to go out and say this, like, because we got married pretty quick.
Did she sit down and tell you? Were you sitting down and saying you need to leave, or was it actually just a conversation in the hallway?
Nah, it was in our bedroom.
Wow.
Yeah. We were, seated. It was like
Wow.
one of those things where I could see it in her face. I could see it in her eyes that she was just like, I can't. So man, I just remember packing my clothes. I remember just getting everything out, went to the wardrobe. I remember just taking clothes hangers off, and, I'd see Manu, my youngest boy, just running around and like just coming in and out of the, and like not even knowing what's going on, and Harlem at the time was still quite young, and he was just like trying to figure out what was happening. And I was just like, man, I remember telling Harlem, I was just like, whatever happens, you need to look after your brother, and you need to look after your mum. Like, do whatever it takes. Like, it was just, oh man.
Were you angry at the time, or
or
sad, or just like,
I was
damn
like,
it?
I was
Everything.
It was everything.
Wow.
I was everything. But the thing is, my first kind of thought was, I just need a release. Like, I need something to get me okay. So I just knew that Jade was serious,
Right.
like that I had to go. So I messaged a friend of mine about, like, because we'd wanted to catch up for ages, never ever did it. And he had a studio at his house, and I was like, man, I just need some music right now. Like, I need to get my thoughts out and record something or write something. And so, yeah, I just remember kissing my boys goodbye and walking out the door. And, yeah, just everything that I had that was mine was in the boot of my car. And I just remember I went and I went and bought something to smoke. I went and bought something to drink. And I texted the guy, and I was like, bro, I'm coming up to your house now. Where do you live? And I knew he lived in Forest Lake, so I drove up there. And I was just, I'd get the address whenever he sends it. And I got to Forest Lake, didn't even text me back. Didn't pick up my calls. I called him so many times. I was just like, what's going on? So I went to the Coles car park in Forest Lake and just sat there, waited for him to message me. And nothing for ages. And then I just remember calling my brother, my Law. And at that time, like, Law wasn't walking with the Lord. Like, he kind of went so far as to be like, he's not real.
Right,
And I called him, and I kind of told him, and he was like, bro, come right now. Like, come to why are you not here? And I was like, I don't want to come bother you and the kids. Like, I just really want to be on my own right now. I just wanted to let you know, this is where I'm at. And to be honest, I just want you to pray for me, man. And then he was just like,
Hey?
yeah, it was like a moment on the phone where it was a little bit awkward, but I was saying, I was like, Ben, like, just like that, just like our olds used to pray for us, like, I just need some prayer right now. And he prayed for me, and I was like, yeah, cool, I love you, bro.
Was that one of your dark moments?
Hey?
Like one of the very lowest moments in your life?
Yeah.
It's crazy we call on the Lord that way.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, that's it. 'Cause
why is it we default, like, you just sort of default, I need prayer.
Yeah.
Wow. I just find it really...
Yeah, 100%. Even that day, actually, before I left home, I called my mum and dad.
Oh, wow.
And I asked them to pray for me too. And, they didn't know what was going on. Just knew that their baby boy was crying on the phone, from another country, asking for some prayer.
Wow.
That something was happening between me and my wife. And then, ended up leaving. And then, I just... Jade texted me, though, in that time where I was sitting in the car. She said, I found these sermons on relationships. Maybe you should give them a watch, because they kind of, and I was just like, man, this is the last thing I want, like I don't want to, I don't want to watch any of this stuff, man, like, because it was like a 8 sermon series of like an hour each. I'm like, nah, man. And then I looked at my passenger seat, everything was there for me. I had like hot bottles of alcohol, I had, I had the bags of weed, and I was ready to but I didn't want to do it there. I just had something in my mind. I was just like, nah, I'm not doing it there. I found out later, the next day, that my mate had actually fallen asleep putting his kids to bed. That's why he didn't get back to me. So, But yeah, I saw that stuff there. I was just like, no, I can't do this here, man. Like, I'm in a Coles car park. If I get wasted here, I'm not going. I wake up here in the morning. I was like, nah. So then, I was just like, stuff it. I'll watch one of these. You know, I'll watch one of these sermons. So I put it on. Within the first 15 to 20 minutes, I just felt God flood my car. I just felt everything kind of just fall into place. Like now that I know the Holy Spirit, I know that was what was happening in my car. Yeah. And, you know, the first sermon was about him giving Adam a place. You know, he planted him in a place. He gave him a purpose. He gave him provision. Then he gave him parameters, all before he gave him a partner. And it was like he had a purpose. He was a man for himself before taking the responsibility or being a partner to anyone else. And I was just like, man, like I got it all wrong. Like I've got everything. Like I have everything. I've been blessed with everything that a man could ever want, but they were just in the wrong order. Like he was like, I created you for a relationship. I want you to be in relationships. But the thing is, for all of these relationships to work, the first one has to be with me, and I'll make everything else, fall into place. And I was just like, I just had a massive revelation of, man, I wasn't being a man. Like I wasn't being a man. Like I knew that I was making money. I was doing this, you know, to everybody else. I'm a good father. I love my kids, you know, but it was just, there was no real direction for how I was being the head of my house. And Jade would always give me opportunities to be the head of my house and make decisions and this and that, but I just wasn't being led by God. I was being led by whatever my flesh wanted at the time.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was just like, man, everything started clicking in my heart, in my mind. I was like, wow, like you are there. Like first off, I can feel you. I know you're there. And then the second was, you do have the plan for me. You do have the right plan for me. And then I was just like you've given me everything I could ever want, but I've stuffed it up. Like I haven't played it right. Like I haven't actually looked after the ones that you've given me. And I just was like, man, I need to be a better husband. I need to be a better father. I just need to be a better man for myself so that everything in my family will flow. And then I called Jade straight away, and I was like, "Can I come home?" I met God. Like I heard from God. Like I need to come home, and she was like, "No, you haven't even been on a date, man." And I was just like, "I gotta tell you, man. Like I met him. Like it was just, yeah, it was like, can I just come home? I just want to come home. So you can sleep, you know, on the couch and come home, but then you got to leave again tomorrow." I was like, okay. So
she's playing the hard line.
yeah. Well, the thing is, I'd been given chances in the past.
Okay.
You know, I'd been given chances to step up in the past and to find who it is I'm supposed to be. You know, because like even throughout our whole relationship, she'd always say stuff like, "If we were to break up, like I know in myself I'd be okay because I have God." And I'd be like, "What?" Like, because I didn't know him at that time like that. Like, I'd be like, why are we together then if you're sweet without me, if you're sweet without a partner? And then, yeah, it all clicked later on. But,
wow, man.
Yeah, man. So, and then after that day, the next day, I had text our pastor at the time who married us, Matt Stokes. He is like, honestly, he's the man, bro.
Come on.
Yeah, I owe so much to that guy. Like God has used that guy in so many ways for so many different people, especially in the music community, because he still gigs, man.
Wow.
He's the man. He's like the man. Yeah, I messaged him and I was just like, "What are you up to?" And then without even asking me any questions, he was like, "Man, you know, let's catch up. We'll go Broad Beach, have a coffee Monday." And I was like, "Oh man, yo, sweet." And then got down there, had a chat to him, and then I can't even remember how we got into the conversation, but we just started, like, he didn't even ask me anything. Like, it just started coming out. And then all of a sudden things started clicking even more. Like, wow, I think I am like addicted to pornography. Like I didn't, like it's the first time ever that I thought about it in that way. And I was just like, wow, all of these images in my head. But the thing is, we took it all the way back to the first time I ever found it.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. And then
Oh.
like, I was just going on this journey with him at the beach, at the cafe, with all these people sitting around in the morning, and I'm just like bawling my eyes out. Like, wow, like God is just showing me all these things that weren't even my fault.
Yeah.
You know, but I didn't deal with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I went back and figured out all these things and just thought about how I wasn't good enough in the way that I was. And then he loved me back to, like, that's the only way I can explain it when anybody ever asked me about that day, was he showed me the heart of God by the way that he was loving me back to him, being like, man, like, he knew you were going to do that, you know, like,
Yeah.
that's why he went to the cross for you, bro. That's why he nailed all of that stuff. Like he's when he was on the cross, he saw into the future. He saw you. Like he saw you and he still did it for you. Like, and he was like telling me about grace, and I was just like, whoa. Like, cause like I heard the word, but you know, growing up in the kind of church that I was growing up in, like grace in full, I didn't understand. So to be like, well, I'm covered by his grace. Like, and I can start again.
Yeah.
And I can be made new. And like he does love me regardless of my choices.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
all of these things, like in a space of like 3 days, everything started overturning. Like the soil started overturning, and man, I just, that day in my car, I just gave my life to the Lord.
Wow.
I just gave it all to him. I was just like, man, like the biggest thing I took away from that day, apart from learning everything about myself, was he can't drive if my hands are still on the driving,
right.
are still on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Like, I have to let it go,
Yeah.
whatever that means. And then, for a whole year, I didn't go to church. But every day I would spend with him.
Yeah.
Every day I would just be like, teach me something, teach me something. And like every day I'd watch that same guy with the sermons, Mike Todd from Transformation Church.
Yeah.
The man, he was my pastor. And I just stay, like all the sermons that he'd done like a year ago, I watched them every day. So every day I'd just get something and be like, whoa, like learning so much about God in this 1 year, which I'm so grateful for, that I got to have that relationship one-on-one before I entered the church.
Yeah.
Before I walked in there being led by something that wasn't from me first, like my own kind of relationship, like that I knew the Holy Spirit for myself before anybody tried to teach me their way of it.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm just so grateful, man. Like
That's amazing.
my marriage, my family, it's never been the same. Like it's just
shifted
big time. And I'm just so grateful. Like you see those things on Facebook and that about it ends with me, like all of these things my kids, like that I went through, my kids would never even know what it feels like.
Yeah.
I never ever have to feel the things that I felt, because right now they're not led by me, they're led by the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
I give him full access and authority over my life to teach me how to love my kids.
Yeah. What happened with the attachments, like the alcohol, the weed, the porn and stuff like that?
The weed went straight away.
Wow. No desire for it at all?
No desire for it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. There would be like times where it would be like, oh, man.
Tempting.
Yeah, tempting. Yeah. I could be like, oh, man, like, come on. But the cigarettes stayed around for a while. The drinking stayed around for about another 6 months.
Yeah.
And then that kind of just shifted too. Like without being like, I'm cutting this off. It just organically just went. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So it was at the pace of grace kind of thing.
Pace of grace.
So it was just like, and I felt okay. Like I didn't feel convicted when I was still drinking after, because like I'd still be sharing about God, like at the club, you know, like, but
Come
so
on,
it's
man,
just
let me
man,
tell you
God
something.
is real, man. Like, but then it got to a point where it was just like, yeah, nah, like it's once I get to that certain level, I'm not me anymore. You know, like
So you're still, so the gigging still happened, like music was still happening, and
yeah, and it was cool because I went back into the gigging with a whole new mindset.
Yeah, right.
Like I knew for sure I didn't want to be in clubs anymore. I didn't want to be playing like pubs and with drunk people. It's like it was like finding my niche where I wanted to be, where it was kind of still in there but not.
Yeah.
So I found like restaurants, playing restaurants. People were still drunk and stuff in restaurants, but I wouldn't get messy, you know.
Yeah.
And like it was cool because it would start to open doors for me to share in that area too. Because I was like, do I leave altogether? Or do I be a light in this dark place?
Yeah, nice.
Tough industry, yeah.
It's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's tough.
There's a few industries that are really hard, like chefing there's one.
Yeah.
But music is another, because it is nights.
Yeah.
Late nights.
Yeah.
Early, get home 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
Yeah. And the environment.
And the
man.
environment.
The environment's probably one of the biggest things, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to stay, because you got to be on guard, man.
Yeah.
Like you have to be. You have to guard your heart. Like, because there's just so much around, especially here on the Gold Coast, you know? Like back in New Zealand, like it's not as big. It's still there. But over here, it's just like magnified, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So since then, that encounter
Yeah.
in the Coles car park, that was
Yeah.
the sort of catalyst to it.
Yeah.
That's 3 years ago.
Yeah.
What's
Or just over. Yeah.
just over, yeah. So what's is it just been a slow trajectory of better, or it's still difficult, or?
Oh, there are still difficult times, but like nowhere near as difficult as they were, or as big of a deal. Like whenever anything comes up, like we're quick to kill those things.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm so grateful that I know him.
Yeah.
And that he saved me, and that we're walking this out together. Not only that I have a wife who is like in love with him.
Yeah.
You know, that we used to have this thing where it was just like, man, I love you so much, but I hate you compared to how much I love him. You know, like a joke like that. But it was like, yeah, I'm just so grateful for my wife, man.
Yeah.
And the faith that she had to tell me to leave.
Yeah, wow.
Because if she didn't, I don't know.
Just a cycle.
It's just a cycle, yeah.
Yeah, and that wouldn't have been easy for her either.
Nah, man. The uncertainty of being like, I jumped into this too quick. Now I have another child. Now I'm about to, lose my marriage. But she trusted him. Like she trusted him to be, and he did it. But the thing is, it could have went either way, man.
Yeah.
Like it could have went either way. Like I could have got swallowed by the lifestyle of being a musician here on the Gold Coast and Brisbane. Like I've seen it happen.
Yeah, I bet.
I've seen it happen and be like, just all the stuff that can go wrong. So I'm glad that it happened. I'm glad it happened quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's so quick.
Yeah.
And even just the things falling off.
Yeah.
As you seek God and spend time with God.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And that's a great testimony for people.
Yeah.
It's cool because I think people strive so hard to do what you've achieved with God.
Yeah, bro.
But testimony to you just continually filling your cup. Like that picture of a bottle with muddy water.
Yeah.
And all those things, that's the mud.
Yeah,
you just continue to tip enough of Jesus in.
Yeah.
You don't really have to strive to get rid of any of it. He'll just wash it all out.
Wow.
But you got to keep that tap running.
Yeah.
Come on.
And there are times where it's like seasons of being so busy that when you fall out of routine of prayer
sure.
Or spending time with him,
You notice.
you know, man,
Yeah.
because it's just like, what's happening, man? And then I was just like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here when you're ready, mate.
I was asking the same
Yeah.
question.
It's like you've focused more on the gifts than the giver, mate.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, mate, okay, sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
And how long have you been part of the Chapel family?
Man, a year and 3 months.
Is that
Oh,
all?
Wow.
Yeah,
Feels
No.
like longer, eh?
Feels way longer, bro.
yeah. Year and 3 months or year and 4 months.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
Feels like years.
Feels like it to me too, man. Like this is home for me, man.
Yeah.
This is like this is but Jade's mum, Diane, she's
Yeah.
been OG.
Yeah,
OG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's always been like, since I first came into the relationship with
OG.
Jade, she's like, come to church.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, yeah.
OG, all right.
Yeah.
She is.
Well, Jade's kind of always been around as well.
Yeah.
Harlem's
No, that's-
always
yeah.
Harlem's always been
I
around.
came first time in 2016
Yeah.
for the Mother's Day thing.
Because you're honouring Di, I think.
Because we were honouring Di and Jade
Yeah.
went up and spoke.
That's
Wow.
right.
Yeah, bro. And that time, like now that I know the Holy Spirit, He was trying me there, because I could not stop weeping. I walked through the doors and it just started happening, and I was just like, whoa. And then and Di was like, oh, this is so and so. I remember meeting Jash.
Oh,
It was
yo.
like, I remember him, and then I remember George. I remember just being like, what is happening to me? Like. And then I was just like, Jay, don't leave. Like, stay with me. Stay with me.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then we sat down, and then I was just like, man, I just couldn't stop, man. And then I was
Wow.
just like, I told Jade, I was like, I got to go. I have to leave. And then I just stood up, walked out. And then I was walking around in circles outside near the barbecue or near the toilets. And then George came out. I was like, you okay, man? And I just talked to him about what was going on. And then he was like, man, sharing with me, prayed for me, sung a little song. He's like, I'm going to go back in, bro. You come back in when you're ready. And yeah, cool. Then I was like, sweet, went to the toilet, splashed my face. I was like, okay, cool, I'm good. Walked back in, boom, again. I was like, oh, man. Honestly, bro, like my head was thumping by the time we finished and got in the car.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wrecked.
Like I didn't even want any of the scones, man.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
Oh, something was wrong.
Yeah. Bro. So, yeah, I just remember I was defeated, man.
Wow.
I never,
Whoa.
never came back.
That was 2016.
16,
And then you're back 2021.
2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
then you had that encounter with the Lord in 2019.
2019. Yeah. Just
2019.
before, and it was just before we moved into our house.
Wow. Praise the Lord, man.
Yeah. So
Man.
the thing that was like so beautiful about it was we were starting brand new. We built this house together, and we were moving into it with God at the center.
Wow.
Oh,
Like,
man.
You
Come
know,
on.
like, imagine going in the same way. Like
Yeah.
We'd just be carrying those same problems into this
Mm.
new house. So it was like he was like, "Nah, this is the time."
Fresh
Wow.
start.
Yeah.
Well, we're proud of you. We
Thanks, man.
love you
Yeah,
being a
bro.
part of our
Thank
Chapel
you.
family.
Thank you,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
It's
Look forward to you guys heading up blue again at the
Yeah.
camp next time.
Come on. Robbed.
Changing sides.
Yeah, come to
Come
blue,
to the
bro.
good thing.
Come
I'm
on.
here.
Come on.
I'm here.
Come on.
Don't tell my team leaders. Can we edit this out?
No way.
Leave the sin, bro.
It was a good time. We're going to do it again
so
next
good,
year.
man. But it's honestly a privilege, man. Like this feels like home.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Right now we're just praying for to live down here.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, man. Kill the commute and just live down here,
Yeah.
bro.
It'll happen, bro.
Yeah.
It's all
It'll
good.
happen.
That's it. So yeah. Thank you so much.
Bless you, mate.
Nah.
Thanks for being here.
Love you,
Thank
bro.
you.
Thank
Love you guys.